Okay, I wasn't clear about it. I will be now very clear about it. Okay. My fault, I was not clear about this. You have to go to the advanced tools. You cannot use the beginner tools. I was trying to get that across to you, but I guess it didn't. You may end up having to use the beginner tools because you don't know how to get there. I'll tell you how to do it. It'll say, look for advanced tools. You see where it says advanced tools?
Just go to the click on the sell an item.
Yeah.
So you go back to where you can click on sell an item, and you got there by going to my eBay sell in the drop down. Sell an item. Now the sell an item page, it paints itself. Right now in the upper right corner, there's an option that says switch to advanced tool.
Wait. You just pressed a button before he said do it.
So anyway, you click on that button.
Wait.
It's a little text. It's a little text string.
Wait a second. Don't do it. Don't do it yet. Wait a second. Click on the thing that says that you want what does it say exactly? The words. Switch to advanced tool, it says?
Yep, in the upper
right hand side. It says switch to advanced tool. A little blue box up there. All right, you can see the little blue box right around there is where it says switch to advanced tool. So go ahead and press that button, but don't do anything else. Just switch the button. Just stop. Don't go any further.
Now that will give you a gray screen with a white pop-up window in the middle. And what's that window asking you?
Right. So hold on a second. Don't do anything. Please stop, freeze. Don't motion. Don't do anything. Okay. It says they advise you to not switch to the advanced tool. I tell you have to switch to the advanced tool because you can't really list with this piece of crap that they give you here, this little basic. It won't let you list properly. So when you click on this thing, you will probably be very frustrated because you'll want the advanced tool. You'll click and it looks just like the beginner tool. You'll click again and it looks like the beginner tool. You'll click again and it still looks like the beginner tool because they've given you a huge blue button that they want you to press and a little tiny word that they don't want you to press. The little tiny word says switch. The big blue button says forget it. Stay. They want you to not do this. I want you to. So press the word switch now. Good. On the upper left-hand side, it says, it says change category where? It says choose a category, select a category. It says somewhere. Exactly. So you're in the book section, right? The book category? Come on.
I don't think we selected a category on this.
All right. So browse category. All right. So it's on the upper right-hand side? Okay. Upper right-hand side says browse categories. Choose books. Please choose books. Choose non-fiction. And press OK or whatever it says. Save or OK or click or do this. All right. Now it's going to prompt you and ask you for an ISBN number or a name or something like that or a title. And it says we think we have you in our database. Okay, so what you're going to type is E.J.GOLD. And go ahead and click the button. You will now have a page full. Look at that. Drag down. Whoa. Every one of those is now in your warehouse. Here's how you make it work. Watch. Go up to the first one, which is what? Angel's Healing Journey? All right. You see Angel's Healing Journey? Is it a paperback? Make sure it's a paperback. Okay? How much is that book? Open a second window. Yeah, go to Gateways Books, Angel's Healing Journey, look up the price. At the same time, you might want to look up any kind of information you might want to put in there. So that, and you can put all the information or none. They recommend you put very little information in your ads, in your listings. Very little. But if you're not concerned about selling, it's just exposing. This is just exposure. This is not sales. You're not trying to make sales. You will make sales. In spite of yourself, you'll make sales. You can be as incompetent as hell, you'll still make sales. Anyway, you can put all or part of that. You can switch it around, make different things, do different stuff, take parts of it, and so on. That's all available to you. What's the price? $15.95. 15 or 5. Okay, let's go back to our ad. Flip over to the ad. Alt tab over. Oh, you at the ad? You're at the listing? Good. Okay. So Angel's Healing Journey. What does it say? Sell yours, right? So go ahead. Press that. Sell yours. All you got to do now is say, what condition is it? Is it new? So, make the move. Brand new. So click it. Yeah. Drag down a little bit. Everything's already in there. It's got the ISBN number. It's got all the stuff. It's got all the information and it's in there. So all you have to do is say one copy of Angel's Healing Journey. No, I'd leave it. Just leave it. Just make it as easy as possible for yourself so you don't, it's brainless. It's totally brainless. Now drag down some more, put in your shipping thing and blah, 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 and you're done. That's it. Go back and get another one, put it up. It'll take you a total of a minute to do this. You can put all those books up in half an hour. Maybe an hour. Then you go find, look, go back and see if you can find some books under Robert DeRopp. Or under, who's our big sellers? DeRopp.
Michael Hutchinson. Oh, that's
the
Book of Floating.
The Book of Floating sells like crazy. I'll bet you could sell, seriously, I bet you could sell 100, 200 copies of that a month if you pushed. It is such a desirable book. It's
Mind
the
of a
best
Dolphin.
book. Well, no, is that what it's called?
No, that's the new Lily book. That's a
No.
popular book
The
too.
flotation, the Book of Floating is the Hutchinson Book of Floating. That's the one that John backed, and it's fabulous. And we published that. Look, when you're looking for DeRopp, and you're looking for who else do we publish? Claudio and.
Well, no, the thing you have to do when you find it on here, you go to the Gateway's website, and if you don't see it on the Gateway's website, we don't publish it, which means we can't get it to you, which means if you sell it,
you're on your own.
You're stuck. So make sure it's on the Gateway's website before you sell it, because then we know that we can get you a copy.
If it's on the Gateway's website, we produce it. Now, you can do the same thing with absolutely everything we produce, but do talk to us. Don't just do these things and then present us with the bill. You understand what I'm saying? Tell us you're doing this and give us some warning that you're going to need fulfillment, because we need time to fulfill as well, because a lot of our books are published, printed on demand, for instance. So we might have a dozen copies, but if you suddenly sell 50 copies of something, we may not have it unless you tell us in advance you need that. And eBay demands of you that you ship within 3 days or whatever you claim you're going to ship. And by the way, 3 days is a pretty standard thing to say. If you want to ever get good shipping status, say 3 days. And you better have that thing in the mail 3 days later. You better have. So, of course, we're exempt from that. But that's because... The which one? Oh, the Book of Floating should be on with your tank. Absolutely. A free Book of Floating with the tank, yeah. It's only $10,000 for the tank, you get a free book. That's fair. 13.
And a teddy bear with goggles and flippers.
If I were listing a Samadhi tank, I would first of all call up Glenn and Lee and ask them if it's okay to do that and which tank they'd like you to sell. Okay? And how they'd like you to outfit that tank in order to sell it, and then where you can get the photos from and where you can get the information from so that the correct thing can be on there. If you want to list a tank at $10,000, hey, you got yourself a nice fat commission.
No, they can't.
Why?
10,000 is bigger than 5,000.
I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now. There might be a time when you want to list my paintings. I have some paintings at $35,000. That's sold at that price. And $50,000. Swan and a couple of other New York auction houses sold my pieces at $50,000 for 4x5s. And a couple of my pieces sold. These are all legitimate sales. They're bona fide. It's called bona fide sales. Some of my pieces sold for $110,000 to $150,000. The larger ones did. This is before 9/11. After 9/11, none of that happened, of course, as you know, and the whole field dried up. But now, the people who have a lot of money have a lot of money. And so I would actually tend to put up a samadhi tank that was $30,000, $40,000, something that's tricked out beyond belief, hand painted by some fabulous, fabulously famous painter. Put it up for $3.5 million. There was a time I had one thing that one little treasure from Jim Morrison. Jan, she painted she made a fringe jacket for him and fringe pants for him, and she painted a little thing on it. He liked it, so I put a bunch of my paintings. He liked it even more. The only problem is, he said, it's brown. He says, I don't wear brown. I wear black. That's all I wear is black. So she made a black fridge thing for him, and he took it with him to Paris, and that's the last we saw him. So, but that one was not painted. So the one that I had painted for him, but he never wore, I put up as an auction, and I explained that he'd never worn it, but it was made for him, and he rejected it because it wasn't black. And then we made another one for him, which he died with, So I put that thing up on eBay for $1.5 million, and we had, believe it or not, over 1 million page views for that thing. It was fabulous. It's like having your stuff up if I'd had that up at the Museum of Modern Art, that display, I would have had about the same number of people go past there. So it's like putting something that you've made, putting it up on an auction block is kind of like putting it up in a museum. You get a lot of views. There's a lot of people who appreciate this thing. And so I want to point out, just want to make the point about this, about the listings. You can grab anything that you can verify that you can fulfill, anything you can fulfill with a 3-day shipping base, with ship within 3 days. Whether you ship it to them or we do, it doesn't make any difference. We'll ship it to the people you want it to ship. We'll drop ship for you. You just tell us where you want it shipped, and we'll do that. You have to recompense us for, of course, the shipping, and you also have to pay us for the item. And so, it's great because it adds to our income, to the income as a community, but it also, more importantly, it's that connection. It's that spreading of the wave. We talked about the very early part, is spreading of the wave, getting those ripples out there. And the bigger the rock that drops into the pond, the better the ripples are that go out there. Way, way out there, big, big ripples. So that's what we want to see, is big ripples. So I'm counting on everyone who is listening to my voice to do this. Get on eBay, put 100 items up of things that we produce, and put them up at retail. Don't jerk around with the prices. Just put them up at the straight retail price. Whatever it says, that's what you put on there. You can sell CDs, you can sell DVDs, you can sell video games. Not all of them. You have to check and see what video games are okay. And you can get them off of my, if I sold a video game, if I'm selling a video game, you can take the photo off of my thing. I give you permission to do that, of course. Do not try to sell something that's a one-of-a-kind that someone else has up for sale, because who is going to deliver? Okay? So you have to be careful about that. Don't put a one-of-a-kind item up that somebody else has. However, look around. You're going to start looking around your house. Look around the house and see if there's anything large that you don't want to keep walking around other than your significant other. I'm talking about, just something in your way, something that's blocking in your way, something that's been in storage. Look at your storage unit and just look at things. Will I ever use this? Do I want to keep paying storage on this? Put it up on eBay. Sell it. Start taking some action like that. And what will happen is that'll attract people to your page and to your store. The things that do sell will attract them to your store. They'll look for other things, and they may find something that they never expected to find there, buying that used bagpipe that you had in the attic. Meanwhile, they find a flotation tank, or they locate something like Parallel Worlds Explored. Hey, I've been wondering about that. And so that's how you can work for the work. You can plug yourself right into the work lineage by doing this. That's why I stopped everything. I said, stop the presses. This is fabulous. Because you put yourself right into the lineage. See, this is what Lee was trying to explain. Not about eBay. He wasn't talking eBay. He was talking about running a gallery. It's the same thing, except this is a worldwide gallery. And instead of selling bronze altar items, you're selling books and video discs, DVDs and audio CDs and CD-ROMs. I'd love to see somebody out there selling a lot of Bardo-Town, the CD-ROM. That's a fabulous thing. We made that on 35 millimeters, right in this very room, with 35 millimeter film camera, and we filmed that here. It's amazing. It's a CD-ROM. How much is that thing?
Maybe it's 59. I wonder if we need a barcode for it, because I don't know that one has a barcode.
Okay. Let's check it out and see about a barcode for it and all of that. So we'll get that up for you, because that's a fabulous piece, and it's a great introduction. It's got all the bells and whistles, got nice sounds in there and all kinds of fun things to really enjoy about the Bardo. And it's got, the photos came out so beautifully well, and they really are what I was looking for. We built it to...
Now, for people to list, they're going to need to know how much they're paying for these items.
Right. You get 40% off. 40% off. If you start shaving any price, it's off if it's off your 40%. In other words, we get 60% of that cover price. You can take any shaving off that, but I wouldn't shave it. I'd sell it at the full retail. My God, what's $5 more or less going to do to help you? So put out, and the more you put out, you see, if you put all 100 items up in your first month, they may let you extend that in your second month. So you would increase your number, probably not by very much, but maybe 20. I don't know how much they'll let you have, but a little bit more. And then the next month, a little bit more, and so forth. Every month, you should actually increase. You call and say, please increase this for me. Thank you.
Yeah,
Just do it. I didn't, and I regret not having done it. I didn't play the game the way that they want you to play the game. I didn't jump through the hoops they want you to jump through. I thought there was some option there. And finally, talking to a supervisor, she says, no, this is the way everybody's treated. She said, if I had an account, which is very telling. She didn't. She says, if I had an account, I would not be allowed to do anything any more than anybody else is. It's a square, a level playing field. So that's all right. Fair enough. Everybody's an idiot. That's okay. So the idea is to get up as many listings as you possibly can every single month, until you have 1,000 or 2,000 listings up, which is quite possible. With a net that big, you're going to make sales. When you start making sales to the point where you might not even be able to, you might not even want to do anything else. I mean, it might be just so easy, and it's such an easy trip, because all you got to automatically just, You sell something and then you charge with. Then you say renew this listing. You put it back up again. In other words, you put your net back out. Your little tiny party net. So your net is always working for you, always. And you don't have to do anything to maintain it other than ship the things out, check and see what your sales are like, and so forth. That's it. It's that simple. Oh, you got to do a class? All right. So builders class at 9.